you go, guys. Nice pike. That's been bitten as well, look. By another pike, an old star. Right, we'll get this back. Morning guys, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel. This morning you find me on the banks of the River Yare. It's about 7:30. I've come down nice and early. It's really flooded. About to leave the car halfway up the path coming towards here. I'm down at Posick. The car parking area and the canoe basin is quite flooded. It's almost up to the top of my wellies. I drove down in the car, realised it's up to the door seal, so I turned it around, parked it halfway up there. I got a bank stick and had a good check. But as soon as you get to the river, it's all right. So what I've done is, I had a few casts straight off the Staith, off the ferry bit. About half a dozen casts there, wait till it got light so I can see what I'm doing. I've walked to the right as far up as you can get, MPEG 23. And I'm just going to do a bit of lure fishing for pike. The river's quite high. It's not actually as flooded as much, even though it's come over the banking. But I'm going to check the tide, state of the tide, so I'm not sure if it's at low or high tide at the minute. And the last thing I want is to get back down there and there's an extra 3 or 4 foot of water on, because I'm going to get a boot full. So basically, yeah, I'm just going to lure fish. I'm going to work my way back down to the car. Hopefully, it should take me a couple of hours, and then my plan is go down to Norwich and then go around Cow Tower up to sort of like Bishop Bridge. But basically, looking at the water, I've selected sort of half a dozen lures. I've got one on there which is a 40-gram shad. I'll show you that in a minute. And I'm just going to stick for a little working box. Again, I've got a deep diving candy head shad on there, 40-gram. I've got a 30-gram heron shad. A sprat, sort of sardine imitation. That's about medium diving. We've got a 30-gram mackerel Toby, just in case, you never know. I've gone for bright colours as well. I've got a 28-gram chatterbait with a lot of vibration, so I've gone for the brightest colour I had, yellow. The water's quite coloured. And I've also got another, this one is 35-gram deep sinking, 2.5 to 3 metre candy head minnow. So I'm going to just stick with these, work my way along the river back to the car and hopefully get a pike. But I'll show you the river in a minute. It is quite high, but I'm going to give the I'll show you what I'm using at the minute. You'll have to walk with me because I've got my wire in, and I've just put these in I have a little working box, and I just clip it to my top. Saves me going in and out and box all day long. Out of my rucksack, that's in there. I've got my landing net and unhooking mat there. Not that it's necessary today. The bank's sodden wet, really soft grass. I'm going to start with a big 40-gram. It's got loads of rattle in it. It's got a nice blade in it. It's a diving shad. But you can work it how you want. This one, you can work it deep. You can work it sort of like shallow. If you let it just slow sink in, slow retrieve, or you can sort of like jerk it. It's quite a good jerk bait, but with the water being this coloured and that, it's going to nice slow retrieve with this one. Occasional pause. Oh, let's pull some more wire out and I'll get you spun round. But what I'm thinking is, to start with, Ooh, not getting in the bushes to start with. Just try and work along the, almost not the shoreline, but because it would be along here, just in case there's any pike, sort of like keeping out the main flow in the sort of like shallows, in the slack water where the roach and that might be sort of like pushing into, shoaling up out of the sort of like flood of the river. But I know from the summer it is quite shallow here, so I'm not going to go too tight because there'll probably be a lot of debris. And I noticed that the first couple of casts down off the ferry bit, there's a lot of junk on the water. Obviously a lot of leaves and twigs and branches and everything. Especially all these high winds we've had the last 3 days, 50, 60 miles an hour gusts. It's only supposed to be about 27, 28 kilometres today, so it's died down quite a lot. I'll spin you around and I'll get myself out of a tangle. Right. With this lure, I'll get you right in the edge. I hope you can see it. It sort of sinks horizontally. Don't know if you can see this. I don't know if I can get in the camera. It sort of sinks horizontally, and then it's probably best, and it flutters up, so it's probably better, and then it sinks right down to the bottom. So I think a slow jerk is probably going to be better with this. As you see, it sinks quite deep, and then as you see with the flash, as you jerk it, I think looking at that, a good jerk, and then 1, 2, 3, jerk, 1, 2, 3, and you could just work it as well. The more you, I think the more you reel in, the sort of like shallow it'll become. But so we'll get that cast out again, and we'll give it a bit more of a jerking action. So we'll make sure there's no junk on the line. I'm just using a 9-foot, cut down an old Shakespeare. This is an old Shakespeare Master Carp, 1 3/4 pound, or was it 1.5 pound test? But I've cut it down a fair bit, the butt and the tip. There's probably about 1 3/4 pound test curve, and I got a pesky fin Torrent 2, high speed, 7.1 gear ratio, 6-ball bearing. That's with 35 pound Fox braid on here. So I'm going to let that settle for a minute or two, and I'm just going to give it a quick, not too erratic jerk, because I noticed that was quite wild on the when you jerk it. So I'm just going to give it a gentle jerk. I don't want it to fly up in the water too much and look a bit unnatural. It's just on the bottom there, I think. Maybe work that a little bit faster, or faster. work it a little bit faster. But I do know that's quite a shallow bay over there, so we'll try a little bit further out. Just going to let that quickly settle. Right, just going to mix it up really, with a slow retrieve. A few jerks, a few pauses, the same old, same old. Probably give it 3 or 4 casts and then change the lure, and then I ain't gonna spend too long on each peg, because when you work this fast it does come up to the top a lot. So change this. Well, I've got, as I say, 35 fox braid. I've got a 40 wire. I've got one of the sea fishing 22mm quick change bees. They're so strong, and a big 22mm barrel swivel there. 220 pound. They're not going to bend out. None of these silly little American snap links. Just push that off. I'm going to try this 40 gram Hunt House. Oh, these hooks are so sharp. Wow. Brand new, not used this. Pink candy apple. Alright, we'll give this a go. I'm just going to set the reel up first. The other one's a bit heavier, so what I'm doing is just letting go. Let's see. Just letting go. Push up a bit more. Yeah, I'm just letting go of the reel. Watching not there's too much overrun. That's fine. I've seen a few fish topping just out where the slack of water is, directly in front of me. A couple of little fish topping. So I'll probably head over there. I'm just looking for signs of fish, basically. If there's any signs of silverfish topping, the pike might be close. Let's see what that's like down the edge. It's fast diving. Yeah, it's just nice slow wobble on that, I think. Yeah, nice slow retrieve. Let that sink. Nice. Well, I'll get all this crud off of it. Oh, it's all gone. Right, let's get over here. Plop. You know, that settle. I think with all the rain you've had and the water being high, it's quite coloured. It's poor. It's poor. Let's get this out of the way. It's probably going to be more productive with dead baits and live baits, because I think the pike are going to be hunting by smell more than sight. They're going to be sitting somewhere waiting for a fish to pass in front of their nose. So it's just locating them, as I say. I'm going to give this a slightly faster retrieve. Don't forget my lure down there. Okay, we're at peg 13, unlucky for some. Let's see if it's lucky for me. I've not gone every peg, I've gone every other peg. And I've had a maximum of about 6 casts, so just keep on moving today. I'm getting a good 2/3 of the way across the river, so working a fair bit of water. And just with this lure I just found a nice medium sort of retrieve is best. Just keeps it just above the weeds. Quick jerk and nice medium retrieve. On weed. Oh. There's a lot of sunken lilies out there. They cut the tops off or they die back, but I know from the summer a lot of these you've got to be careful. There's so many lilies. Oh yeah, 43. Right, let's get to this side. Ah, shit the bed. Number 13, eh? Alright, let's try again. Not jerk it this time. A bit. Have to keep wetting the braid with it being so windy today. Keep lapping a bit of water on it. Just keep it nice and wet, soaking wet. I don't want to start drying out with this wind. Okay, we're at peg 11. I've just put on this 28 gram chatterbait. I'm just loving the way it looks. But you can have it needs a fast retrieve to get the sort of vibration going. But you can also sort of like sink and draw it as well, which is quite good because it sinks quite fast, as you can see. But then nice little steady sink and draw. You need to pull it quite hard to get the vibration going. Just let it settle. You see that? So it flutters up and down in the water. So we'll give this a good cast. I've just loosened the casting drag off to number 3. It's a little bit lighter. Just tighten that up a bit. Just going to give that a sink and draw back. I can feel it on the rod vibrating. If I reel fast, I can see the rod tip start now. There you go, it's like a jerking as that blade's bouncing around. There you go. Just get a distinctive vibration in there. I saw some weed or something. Going on here? Nothing there. It's a good cast. You've got to work it till that rod tip starts to vibrate. That's just weed. What it says. Nothing on there. There's a bit of leaf. It seems to be, it goes out about 4 foot, 5 foot, and then you get a load of weeds in every peg. Try down this side. The flow is going right to left, so the next stop would be Brundle, then I'm Buckingham. Yeah, every peg's just full of these lilies. You can see some of them sticking out. Right, I'll give it one more cast here. I'm going to get that one to the left as well. Mind you, there's some lilies there, so I've got to be careful. And these weeds, these reeds above me. That's good, that'll do. Just down the edge. I'll try and keep the tip a bit higher to keep it off the probably just seeing my hand, but doing the best I can. Right, one more, straight out. Try to wind just using my wrist so you can see. That's some weeds. Got a load of bulrushes and it's obviously trimmed the tops but not enough. It's a shame. Come summertime, that's going to be, these are going to be choked again. You won't even be able to get in here. They'll be out to here again, all the weeds. Right, let's get going. Right, it's flooding out now, we're lucky. It's draining out. This morning was up to the top of my wellies. Where that car's parked, that was all water. That was all water. In fact, it was up to the top of these little posts there, right up to the top. It's dropped a couple of foot. But I didn't want to risk it in my car. And that water was way up here. This was all water this morning. It's dropped 2 or 3 foot, so it's flooding out. Just hope that guy in the bivvy knows what he's doing when it starts to flood again. Now I got down here in the car this morning, spun it around, just kept it in first gear and the revs high. And these puddles are deep. Yeah, I came up to here. You can see, still flooded all in here. I didn't want to risk parking my car down there in case it was still on the flood. I was going to get higher. Okay guys, I'm all back at the car, it's 9:30. Bit later than I was expecting, but time always flies when you're spinning, I always find. You think, oh, a couple of casts here, a couple of casts there, and the next thing you know, 2 or 3 hours has gone by. So it's 9:30, better get a move on. I'm going to go down to Thorpe Green. Hopefully I can get space. Normally this time of day now, they're all full. There's normally on about 4 or 5 spaces you can park near the church. If I can't get there, I shall go down, hopefully park up near Cow Tower, bit near Zach's, head over the bridge, and then round through the sort of like through the park up to Bishop Bridge. Well, no luck there, but the water's really high, really coloured. Yeah, the guy on the other side was dead baiting for pike. I reckon that's the best way to go with the water being so high and coloured. But I just thought today, finished work yesterday, been a busy week, get out, do a bit of spinning. I can arrange myself for tomorrow. As I say, tomorrow I'm going to go back to Hickling Broad. I need to fill the car up, sort the gear out, make sure I've got my tripods this time, and get a bit of dead baiting, hopefully as well. I'll shoot back while I'm there at Riverside, go into Morrison's and get some sardines or some mackerel or something for bait for tomorrow. I've got a little bit in the freezer, and I'll probably take a whip as well. I've got a few manky old maggots and some hemp and stuff. I can hopefully catch a roach too. But anyway, on to the next venue. I'll see you there. Okay, I'm down at Thorpe Green. I'm going to start on the chatterbait. It's a nice bright colour. 28 gram. I'm going to start on the furthest right and go all the way up to the rush cutters. We're starting this end peg. I've just got to watch out. I've just seen there's a sunken boat down there, so I won't be going anywhere near that. And I'll be working my way all the way up to the white building and the rush cutters. I'll have a chuck along here, a couple of casts, and we'll work our way all along. I'll not let this sink so much this time. Bit of an awkward cast. Knew that was going to happen. Can't get the angle on it. Right, I'll have to go to the left. It's better. I've got to get it up before this boat down here. I don't know if there's any anchor ropes or anything. That's coming back quite clean, I'm surprised. Okay, I'm going to have a couple of casts with this trusty old battered herring shad. It's caught me plenty of pike and perch before. About 30 grams. Nice rattle in it. Nice orange underbelly. Right, we'll get this cast. Give it a waggle about. Hey guys, I'm in on the herring shad. Not big. Oh, he's only just hooked. He's only just hooked. He's in the net. Oh, he's only just hooked. I'm just going to leave that in the net there. So the hook's out, look. The hooks are out. He's done me a big favour. Oh. The hooks are out. Oh. So in the net. I'll let that rest in the net for a second. That's it. Just let that rest in there. I'm going to wet this. Just wet this mat. It's lively still. There's a hook right down the edge. I ain't going to weigh this. It's only a small pike. Right, we'll get him unhooked and get him out of this net. There you go guys, nice pike. That's been bitten as well, look, by another pike, an old scar. Right, we'll get this back. Get this back in. It's only about, what, 4 or 5 pound. Let's make sure he's well rested. Straight off, still lively. Oh, I haven't got a rag or anything. Left this rucksack at the car. That's on the old herring shad. Literally straight down the edge here. Right, we'll try that again. Well, I haven't blanked. The old trusty old herring shad strikes again. And what I'm doing is, because it's about medium diving, as soon as I cast in, I'm dipping the rod right down so I see the V's come together, sinking the line, and then that one was just literally a slow sort of slow jerk and slow jerk and slow wind in. Just jerking it, slow winding it, giving it a little pause. It's just nice. You can you can just wind it in and it's sort of does a nice little wobble, but it's better just jerking it slightly, get that rattle moving. And it does dive quite deep when you jerk it, as you can see. But it does naturally float. It's just like quite erratic wobble. You can see that. Just in fact, it does sink actually. But sort of like mid-depth, so sinking the tip, just gets that right down. I'll get that cast in again. Whoa, cast and a half. We just dip that right down, wind in, get that line sunk to the bottom. There's some rowers coming as well. Just do the same again. Just mixing it up. I was a bit lucky on that pike, must have been just nicked. Mind you, it was right near the rod tip. Right, we'll move on a bit. So okay guys, back at the car. Coming up to 11 o'clock, about 5 to 11. I've just gone as far as the post, as far as you're allowed to fish. To the left you can't, you can go all the way around, but just the one pike, probably about £5 I'd say, £5 to £6. Took it right on the edge on the old herring shad. That wind's a bit brassy there, so I'm not going to give it too long there, but one pike's enough for me. We conquered again, so on to the next venue. As I say, I'm going to go down back of Zach's, or go over the bridge, park at Zach's, over the bridge, through the thing, and then I'll pop the Morrisons. I might even see if I can get down to Trouse in a little bit, but it's coming up to 11 o'clock, so I shan't give it too much longer. Another half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we're done. Right, let's get on. Right, I've just been into Morrisons. I was on the way, so I thought I might as well stop there. Didn't have any sardines. He said Friday's your best bet, so I just got a couple of Joey mackerel and a herring. So let's get on to the next place. Came down at Cow Tower. It's coming up to 11:30, so I've got to put my skates on. I'm going to have 1 or 2 casts here. Then what I'm going to do is walk down to Bishop Bridge, over the bridge and through the park here. I'm going to start with the old herring shad again. I was thinking in the car, why don't you do that? You know, you have one lure that catches all the fish, and it's always the last lure you're trying it, and then you're like, oh, why didn't I try that first? It's like your banker, isn't it? It's like your super sub. The old knackered old lure in the bottom of the box that catches your fish time and time again, but you try everything else and then you always come back to that one. But anyway, we'll get on it and I'll show you where we are. I'm just literally parked right opposite the old tower. It's called Cow Tower because they used to chuck cows off the top of it, apparently, into the river. No, that's a lie. Just gonna have a couple of chucks up here into the basin, and then literally I'm gonna walk up this path, over the bridge, back around where these people are, and round as far as you can go. See you in a bit. Hey, this is the world famous Cow Tower in Norwich. Apparently this is where they used to herd the cows up there. And then when invading people from France or from Ipswich, they'd chuck them off onto their heads. What's this say down here? One of the earliest purpose-built artillery blockhouses in England. This tower was built in 1398 to 1399 to control a strategic point in Norwich's city defences. The tower was intended to house guns and a garrison of gunners to defend the approaches from across the city of the River Wensum. Well, there you go then, people from Ipswich. How dare they? Right, let's carry on. Let's have a butcher's. This is where they catch the people from Ipswich and lock them up. That's old, isn't it? 1398, 99. Wow. They don't make them like they used to, do they? Imagine chucking a cow off of there. Right, let's get fishing. I don't hold on much hope now, make a move on, it's 12 o'clock. I was just on the way back, I just seen about 100 metres of braid hanging off this tree. Just left it all around here. So I've just jumped down and cleared it up. I'm going to put this in the bin. I just don't like to see it. There's no more knocking about. Right, I'm going to put this in the bin. Okay guys, I'll show you these rigs that are made up. As I say, I wanted a quick chain system. I can hook it on the, put the pop-ups on the hook. I'll go inside the fish, fish friendly, quick and easy, no great big clips, snap links or anything else like that. Just keeping on this one of the old Cook's matches. And what I've done is I've used £25. This is really old. I think it's Fox braid. We've had it years and years and years, but usually why I use this is because it's nice and flexible. I want it to move. I don't want to be sort of like stiff 30, 40 pound, 60 pound braid or anything, wire or anything like that. And what I've done is I've made it up as normal, crimp on, go through your bead, loop it over, crimp it, then your bead, then your pop-ups on. Got another crimp pushed inside here. This is a clever bit, and I let you figure it out. I've got the loop there, like you can get with some, but they've just crimped it on. So if the fish come out or the hooks come out of the fish, this comes off, you've lost it, or even worse, the pike can swallow it down its throat or whatever. But what I've done is I've incorporated a really tight ledger stop. I had to play around, the float stops weren't tight enough. These are the Drennan feeder stops. And then once you put this onto the hook, push up inside the fish, obviously thread it down through with a baiting needle out, hook around here, and then all you got to do is lock that up really tight. That's locked in place. Then once you've got a pike or you want to change your bait, just pull this ledger bead, it's really tight, off, change it, and then we're done. And then you store on here, ready for another day. Okay, I'm all done, back at the car nice and early. Made a rookie mistake. I got as far as I could go. Left the car, thought, right, I've got my rod, reel, my little bag of lures, landing net, unhooking mat, tripod, cameras, all good to go. Got as far as we can go. I had one cast. I was halfway through bringing it back and I thought, shit, I haven't brought my bag of tools, my unhooking tools in my rucksack. So quickly whipped the lure out. I thought, I'm not risking it. I'm definitely not risking it. I got lucky on the last one where the hook popped out, but there's no way I'm carrying on fishing without any unhooking tools. It's just, no, it's just stupid. So I'm back at the car. But anyway, we had one pike, and I was hopeful when we got here and seen the state of the water, and I was thinking last week it was really cold, got down to like -2, -3, but the last couple of days, the last 3 days with this wind, it's warmed up a lot. Yesterday was 15 degrees, well more than that, it was 17 degrees when I was coming home from work. Today's about 15, and tomorrow's about the same. So hopefully after that cold spell, the pike are on the move and on the snap again. So promising for tomorrow, but you never know. Tomorrow's a different day. So tomorrow I'll be out at Hickling again, doing a bit of dead baiting, and I made myself some pop-up rigs up, and I bought some pop-up beads, and I watched a few videos, or I watched quite a lot of videos online on how to use them and how to make them. But all of them, I'll show you this tomorrow, all of them had that at the end, like the quick link system, American snap, all of the pop-up all the pop-up traces had that horrible American snap link, or like a big C link or a quick link, and I just thought, to me, that just looks obtrusive. It just looks something going to get snagged in a branch if a pike takes you in, something to hook up on. It's not very fish friendly. A great big snap link on the end of the pop-up. So I thought, the last week I was sort of like in my head, I was like, how could I devise something that's slimline, fish friendly, where I can get it on and off the hook, and get it on tight, and it's not going to come off. And I'll show you that tomorrow. It took me about 2 hours of fiddling around yesterday, but I come up with a very nifty little trick I haven't seen anyone do online, and I haven't seen any in the shops. So watch this space, and I'll be doing a YouTube short and a small video on how to make them up. So anyway, that's enough for today. Just the one pike, but we caught. We're out on the trusty old herring shad again. So for next time, I will start on that one. All right, tight lines, all the best, guys. I'll see you again in another video. Cheerio.